already seeing that snow right now. We're seeing visibility down to about a half a mile in some locations. It's on its way, D.C. We're thinking by later on today. We've got the green lights for travel this morning, but the green light goes to yellow lights at around lunchtime as the snow starts to work into places like Waldorf. Temperatures in the upper 20s. Still okay in the district on the mall, but we do think that by rush hour this evening, we got the red lights all over the place from Baltimore to Annapolis to Manassas. Temperatures in the upper 20s, so that snow will stick when it comes down, and it's going to be blowing around as well. So blizzard conditions are a likelihood later tonight into the day tomorrow, with those very gusty winds blowing anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour. That is certainly a possibility, reducing visibility to quarter mile or less. Let's talk about the coastal impacts too, because we do think that with that persistent northeast wind, we'll have that pretty good fetch coming in off the flat waters of the Atlantic Ocean. It piles up the water along the immediate coastline. So we're talking minor to moderate flooding along Long Island and also across Massachusetts, but much worse down toward the Jersey coastline. Here's why. Deepening low pressure, that energy transfer over to the coast. The Carolina coast, note the lines, very packed together here. Those are lines of equal pressure. We call them isobars. When they're that close together, very fast winds are a likelihood here, and you've got that strong onshore flow persistent for several hours. So that gives the chance for that water to rise, and especially at times of high tide, it is going to flood here along the coastline of Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and then eventually things do subside as we get toward the second half of the weekend. By that Sunday morning, we're in much better shape. So here's a look at the winds. Watch them increase here, going from Virginia. Look at that 40 to 50 mile per hour winds by early tomorrow morning in D.C., and then New York City and Boston get involved in some of those stronger winds late tomorrow night into Sunday. We're still going to be looking at some pretty gusty winds, especially out towards Cape Cod. So Atlantic City, New Jersey, where, by the way, I believe we've got Jen Carfagno here later today. We've got the high tides at 6:43 this morning and again at 7:09. Actually, this is for Saturday, so that's a time when we could see exacerbated flooding with that persistent onshore flow, and then, of course, the high tide flooding going on at the same time as well. So be careful traveling along the coast. You've got the flooding issue, and then even the several inches of snow on top of that, making for a very interesting picture. I can't wait to see these live shots, Anna Rittis. We're going to be live all weekend long. This is quite a storm, really.
We've already seen the front-end loaders pushing that sand up, building the dunes along the beaches. This is why.
This blockbuster of a snowstorm also expected to bring some significant coastal impacts as we move into this weekend. Let's time this all out for you with Winter Storm Jonas coming together today into tomorrow, especially on Saturday off the mid-Atlantic coast. That low pressure system really strengthening as it does so, turning into a very powerful nor'easter, meaning that those winds, you can see here on the north side of the system where those lines are tightly packed together, that's where the winds are going to be strongest, and they're going to be aimed right at the coast, and that's going to be pushing a hefty amount of water toward coastal New Jersey, into coastal areas of Delaware, and along the open facing shorelines here of coastal Maryland. So we're talking about here minor impacts down into the lower Chesapeake Bay, but moderate to major coastal flooding here, extending from the Delmarva up through, say, north central New Jersey. That means the potential here for extensive flooding of low-lying areas, homes, and businesses. This will all be timed with the high tide during the morning hours on Saturday, evening hours on Saturday, and then into the morning hours again on Sunday. Back to you.
This program brought to you by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.